So today, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be taking out one of her board and trains, Red. She's been here for about 2 days now. She got dropped off about 2 days ago. And this is gonna be her first official training day. Up until this point, we've really just been doing some relationship building, going out, taking her for walks, getting her used to the new environment and getting distressed. Or getting de-stressed to this new environment. And today what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna really start building the foundations we need for our training. So come along with me. So right here we got our board and train, Red. He is a beautiful work or show line German Shepherd. Come on, come here, Red. Right. So as you can see, one of the things that we're going to be focusing on primarily with her stay here is going to be confidence building. You saw how she kind of came out of that kennel. She was very timid. She's kind of looking around. Just overall not the most confident dog. So that's one of the things we're going to work on today. Come on. So as you can see, we kind of walked by some of her other dogs we have over there, and again, she's not very interested in them. Again, really, she's just lacking a lot of confidence. So one of the first things that we do with all the board and trains that we have here, which is a lot different from a lot of other training systems. And one thing I always recommend people do with their dogs, when you first get the dog in, when you're first working with the dog, trying to train the dog, one of the most important things we need to do is to get the dog in a proper learning environment. We gotta build a relationship with the dog. We have to find a way to motivate the dog. We have to get the dog working for us and wanting to enjoy this interaction that we have. Sometimes board and trains will have them for 3, 4, 5 days before we get to the point where we actually start doing any kind of obedience training. It's very important that we focus on the foundation first, get the foundation right before we go on with anything else. Because if we skip this very crucial and important step in the beginning, we're gonna shoot ourselves in the foot later on in the training. She just got here. She doesn't know who I am. I'm a brand new person. And for me to start all of a sudden saying, hey, sit down, obedience this, obedience that, she doesn't even know who I am, right? So the very first step that we do with our dogs, and we recommend that clients do with their dogs if they're doing private lessons, is really focus in on building a strong foundation through a relationship with your dog. So you can see right here, we got a couple different toys. I got some balls in my pocket. At home, she does play. She'll play fetch at home. This is a new environment, so she's probably not gonna play in this environment. And that's a very important thing, is we want to take her and make her feel comfortable here, just like she's at home, right? And one way we can test that is to see if the dog's playing. If she's not playing, she's not in that right mental state that we're looking for to train. But if she is playing, that's how we know that we can progress and go on with the training. So I'm gonna try a few different things, see if I can kind of get her attention. Come on. So one very important thing I want to take note of that we can see right here, right? She's showing zero interest in that toy, right? Again, brand new environment, a lot of stress. There's other dogs over there that might be stressing her out. There's a lot of things going on, right? A lot of people, they try to play with their dogs. They try to do this. They throw the toy around, right? And then they give up. They say, my dog doesn't like to play. And then they take that and they don't pursue that with their dogs. I'm telling you, telling everybody that's watching this video, it is vital that we get the dogs to play and we build the dogs up and we build up their confidence. You can see again, she's She's not a very confident dog, and so getting her to play is going to help build that up, right? So moments like this where I see she's not really playing, right? I can just spend some time with her, right? Sit down, pet her. Myth. Not Myth. Red. Hey, come here. She's a good girl, right? Show her that, you know, I can be her friend, right? Show her that I'm here for her, you know? I want to spend time with her. I want to build a relationship with her. I want to do things with her, right? That right there, that's a stress yawn, right? A lot of dogs, the first couple days they come into a board and train. Again, it's a brand new environment for the dog. They get a little stressed. That's why this is one of the most crucial and important moments of any training process with any dog, is working on getting that dog to a point where they're not stressed anymore. She doing gentle girls. Yes, gentle girls. Yeah. Good girl, Red. Ready? One thing I'm trying to do here, it may look silly. There's a saying, if it looks stupid but it works, it's not stupid. What we're trying to do here is really change the dog's physiological state. Just me running around with a dog, being silly, acting natural in front of the dog, this is doing a lot, and she is taking this in her brain. She's physiologically exerting herself, running around. That's going to be good. We're producing those good hormones into the body that are going to be essential for learning. She's showing, or I'm showing her, my intentions. I'm showing her, hey, I'm here to be your friend. I'm going to be silly. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to be goofy, right? But I'm here to build a relationship with you, learn with you, and fall with you, right? And this is, again, a very crucial, especially for dogs like this, very crucial first step that so many people fail. Come on. Right? So some of these benefits, I'm out here, I'm throwing the ball, I'm running around, I'm acting goofy, right? She's not going after the ball, she's not chasing the ball, right? A lot of people, they watch this, they might see this as a failed training session, right? Firstly, we got plenty of time. We still got, you know, maybe another 20 minutes of trying and attempting to do this, depending on how it goes. If she starts to show some peak of interest to play, obviously we'll continue. But if it continues like this for like another 20 minutes, we'll probably put her up, try again another day. As far as benefits that come with this, again, it may not look like a lot's happening, right? But even though it may not seem like she's making progress, going after the toy, showing a whole lot of interest, she's learning. She's taking it. I'm showing her my intentions. I'm showing, hey, I want to play with you, right? Whether or not she reciprocates that desire to play, sort of irrelevant, right? What I want her to understand is that I am someone that is actively seeking after and trying to put the foot forward and build a relationship with her. That's one of the most important things that I'm trying to communicate with her and get across to her, is that I want to interact with her, whether or not she's ready to interact with me. Sometimes the dogs aren't ready, right? Sometimes the dog takes some more time, and we need to continue to provide the dog with the opportunity so when they are ready, they can come out of their shell and they can engage. And just because the dog's not ready to play with us doesn't mean we give up. We keep on trying, right? This is something, if this training session is, again, not a failure, but if it's not successful in the sense that we get her playing, we do the same exact thing tomorrow. And if it doesn't work tomorrow, we do the same thing the next day. And we keep on doing that until we get her to play with us and to build that relationship. Again, if we start to do training without that, we're shooting ourselves in the foot. We're not laying a proper foundation. Cool. So that's why it's super important. Come on. Ready? Ready? So a dog like her, right? Get to a point, the dog's not actively trying to go after the toy, play with the toy, right? Sometimes you gotta take it a step back. A lot of people, they focus too much on the toy. They don't focus on the interaction, the play between you and the dog. So we take the toy out of the equation. I just play with her with my body. Just like one dog playing with another dog, they don't need a toy. They can play with each other, they can push each other, they can make a lot of movement. She's a very submissive dog. So when I do that kind of stuff, if I'm very overbearing and come to her, you can see that she's very unsure. But if I kind of make a slow and low movement like this, and I make my body small and I kind of be the more submissive person and pull away and lower my body, it's more inviting. She's gonna want to come over and interact with me. So we can use our selves to interact and play with the dog, get the dog playing with us, interacting with us. What's most important when doing stuff like this is showing her that we want to interact, that we want to play with her, that we want to build a relationship with her. Not that she'll play with a toy. Yes, that's the goal. Yes, playing with a toy is going to make things a lot easier, but at the end of the day, we want the dog to know that we want to be their friend. If we can accomplish that, it's a success. All right, I know, you're making me tired. And if it looks like I'm exhausted, it's because I am. Training dogs is not easy. It takes a lot of physical energy. And again, you gotta match the dog's energy. Sometimes you have to overcompensate. A dog like her, she's not coming out of her shell, so I have to do a little bit extra to bring her in a place where I need to get her out of that shell and into a more comfortable environment. Ready? other thing to note when it comes, if you're gonna try to do this with your own dog, another dog, you want to maximize your chances of success, right? There's certain things you can do to stack the deck in your favor. If you look out here, the sun is close to setting, right? Best times to play with the dog is gonna be the early morning or later in the afternoon when the sun's setting. Sunrise, sunset. Dogs, descendants of predatory animals. That is when they're most active. That is when they're most likely to utilize that energy. Midday, probably a bad idea to try to take your dog out, get them to play. Other things you can do to maximize success, stuff like this. Obviously, mitigate any stress in the environment. Kind of hard to do that here. This is, again, a completely new place. She's here for a board and train. And sometimes it just takes time. It may take a few days for her to de-stress from this new environment. But if you're gonna do this, do it in a location that the dog's comfortable in. Their backyard, your home, whatever place the dog is most comfortable in. Don't try to take the dog out to a new park and try to do this. Do it in a familiar place. Other things we have to do, we have to ensure that all the dog's needs are met. The dog is eating plenty of food, drinking plenty of water, right? All the needs outside of that, social needs, are being met, right? We don't want the dog deprived in any way, shape, or form before doing this. If you're trying to sit in a classroom and learn from a teacher and you're hungry, you're not gonna be as focused. Likewise, if she's hungry because she hasn't eaten food for a day or two, then she's not gonna wanna play. That's why one of the big things with our training programs we do with all of our board and trains, we try to get them to eat. We try to ensure that they're well fed and they're getting all those needs met before we come out and do this, because we wanna maximize our chance of success. Ready, Red? Come on. One thing I'm gonna be doing here, I'm already doing it, but I'm gonna start doing it a little bit more. People make a mistake when they play with their dogs. They take the toy item they're trying to use with their dog, they stick it in the dog's face, they wave it around, right? A lot of dogs don't like that. You can see what I'm doing with the toy here. I'm throwing it off to the side. I'm not throwing it directly at her, but then I'm also immediately going after the toy, showing that I'm interested in the toy, showing that this is something worth chasing, right? The concept I'm using here is called mimicry, right? Just how a child learns how mom and dad, they maybe do the laundry, do the dishes, cook food, and the child wants to do that, and maybe you get the child a little play set where they can cook food or do the dishes on their little play set. The child is mimicking adult behaviors. Just like children, we can use mimicry to teach a dog how to do certain behaviors, especially when it comes to play. We can play with the toy by ourselves. The dog's watching. They are taking that in. Like I said before, very key takeaway. A lot of people see it as the dog's not learning anything because the dog's not doing anything. Every second that dog is awake, their eyes are watching something, learning is occurring. That learning may not be relevant now, but it may eventually be relevant in the future. And so that's a very key important thing to remember, not just when it comes to trying to get your dog to play, but life in general when it comes to training your dog. Come on, baby. Sometimes taking a minute, relaxing with the dog, just spending time with the dog. This is very crucial in trying to get a dog out of their shell and to play with you. Now there's some dogs we get come into a board and train, and right off the bat, they're ready to play. They're not stressed at all. Maybe the dog has a lot of confidence, or the dog's very resilient to new environments. And that's awesome. We can get the dog started right away. Some dogs, like her, she's a great dog, but she's stressed out. And that is one of the most important things when training your own dog or training someone else's dog. You have to remember, how do I get this dog so that it is not stressed, so it's in a proper environment that it can take in all the information I'm going to teach. If I start trying to teach her obedience now, it's not gonna stick. It's not gonna work. And quite frankly, I'm wasting my time and my client's money. So instead, it may seem like a slow process at first. I focus on what matters the most. What matters the most is getting her in the right headspace so that I can actually make progress, in real progress with the training. This applies with any dog that we train, and it really should apply with any dog owner that's trying to train their own dog. Oh, there we have it. Eli just brought one of her toys from back home. We'll see if this makes a difference. biggest takeaway, even if the dog doesn't play with you, you're showing the dog those intentions. You're showing the dog what you're trying to accomplish. We're not just getting her in for a board and train, telling her, hey, you have to do this, you have to do that. Obedience, obedience. Our first step, any dog that comes in, build that trust, build that relationship. Try to find a way to motivate the dog, have some kind of shared goal with the dog. We're trying to do all these things with the dog to, again, show them that we're on their side. First real day training with her, right? We came out, kind of the goals were to come out here, again, like she's spent about 2 days just kind of de-stressing, not doing a lot, just going on walks, things like that. Really our goal today was to try to build a relationship with her, get her to play if we could, try to get her doing a few things with us, establishing that trust, that relationship, that motivation, things like that. Ideally, it would have ended with, you know, her playing with us, playing with a toy, a ball, something like that. Like I've said multiple times throughout the video, just because the dog doesn't play doesn't mean the training session was not a success, right? We will most likely continue to do this. We'll try tomorrow, right? With dogs like her, they need some time, they need patience, right? Try maybe once a day, take the dog out, get the dog playing, give the dog the opportunity to open up, right? If you do it long enough and you're consistent with it, the dog will eventually open up and play. There was a few moments when we were out here that she tried to go after the toy. She tried to bite it. She was maybe interacting with me a little bit. Every dog has it deep down in there, the ability to be able to play, right? She had plenty of opportunities or plenty of moments that, you know, could have opened up. And again, we just got to keep trying. It's our due diligence as owners, trainers, caretakers of these dogs to strive to get the dog playing, because it's good for their overall mental well-being and health, right? A dog like her, clearly we can see that she lacks a lot of confidence, right? She's not fearful, right? She's a bit of a submissive dog. She lacks a lot of confidence. Play is going to directly impact that and influence it and help her, right? The reason why she's probably not playing is because she lacks confidence. But by getting her to play, we're going to also build that confidence. So it's something we have to strive for. We have to continue to work on. We don't give up on it. We keep on trying. And until we get to that point, we don't start doing any of the obedience, right? It's going to defeat the purpose, because right now she's lonely. She's away from her owners, right? She doesn't know where she's at. She got dropped off in her mind some random place that she has no idea why she's here. And it's our job, our first job, when the dogs come into our care, to look at the dog and let the dog know that we're here for them. We're in this with them. We're establishing a relationship with them, right? That way the dog doesn't feel that way. A lot of people don't take this into consideration, and this is something that my mentor, the school I went to, it's on my shirt here, Ivan Balabanov, one of the things he constantly says is, how does the dog feel about you? Always ask yourself that question. When you have a dog in training, or your own dog, how does your dog feel about you, right? Right now, I don't know how she feels about me because I'm not a mind reader, but I can speculate. She probably doesn't trust me. She doesn't know who I am. She might think that I'm a crazy person, right? It's my job to prove her wrong and to show her that I'm on her side. And we do this by continuing to do what we do today, and we continue to try to do that until we have a breakthrough, right? Some dogs, it could be, for her, it could be tomorrow. It could be 2 days from now. It could be 3 days from now, right? That doesn't mean we don't do other things, but we're not gonna hit the ground running when it comes to actual training until we get her to that point where she feels good about us. As far as continued training, we're gonna continue to do that. Tomorrow we'll probably take her out in public, try to get her some exposure, maybe take her to the park. There's no expectations, especially early on in the training like this. There's no expectations for her to do any kind of obedience, no expectations for her to not do any unwanted behaviors. We're trying to get her to open up. If she's doing something, jumping on us, barking, being crazy, I'm not going to tell her no. I'm not going to try to discourage that behavior. My first objective is to build her up, and then once we build her up, then we can establish rules, boundaries, structure, things like that. Her, she doesn't need that right now. She needs to be built up. She needs to feel good about herself. She needs to feel good about the people she's with right now for training, and we want to strive to do that and accomplish that until she starts to open up, and then we can start working on her obedience. So tomorrow we're actually probably going to take her out in public for a walk, maybe go to the park, go to the store, things of that nature, and try to get her out and about again. No obligation, just go out, hang out with the dog, do things, right? We can build relationship that way. In the evening, we'll probably come back and reattempt to do what we did today, you know, and most likely, if we do this enough, we'll make progress. Next video, it's going to be posted exactly where this one is. We're probably going to post it on our YouTube channel. We're also going to probably, you know, share that YouTube video onto Facebook or Instagram. Our goal with her, this is the first dog we're doing this with as far as recording it, but we're trying to record every training session we do with her, at least most of them. There's got to be some times that we don't. But we're going to try to record and document her entire training journey, start to finish, while she's here, right? So this is the beginning. You see where she's at. Keep watching the videos, and then you'll see these videos come out over the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned, subscribe, make sure you're watching it, and you're going to see where she is by the end of the training. You're going to see live the methods that we're doing here. Like I said, it doesn't look like a whole lot, but the methods we're doing here over time, you're gonna see a change in this dog. I can almost guarantee you, we've done it with countless dogs in the past, where they come in like this, and we get them over that hump, right? So stay tuned, keep watching, and it's gonna be an awesome time.